flying saucer is located in the Rasman neighborhood of Sharjah. It was likely built between 1974 and 1976, overlooking what was previously known as the Flying Saucer Roundabout, facing the entrance to the British camp, and for a long time remained an isolated structure on a roundabout. The building was conceived as a French-inspired store, combining in one stop a restaurant, a newsstand, tobacconist, gift shop, and in December 1978, a series of advertisements with abstract, futuristic drawings announced, among others, that the flying saucer will be soon landing in Sharjah and that space-age shopping comes to Sharjah.
It's just so fabulous because I'm the second generation of expat. I'm French and Dubai is my home. And the UAE was the home of my dad. He made it to home and that first started in Sharjah. My dad had a dream and the reason why he came is that the beautiful people of this country were willing to participate in his dream because they had the same vision. They had the need as well. Their needs, they wanted something European. And my dad just wanted to give. He wanted to build a shop and give. What is amazing is that that flying saucer is still there, and that flying saucer was very important to my dad. And my dad always jokingly said, don't forget one thing, Tony, is that I'm the first man to bring the croissant in Dubai or in the UAE. And I'm like, okay, you mean in Sharjah, flying saucer? He's like, yeah, that's where it was. And also cappuccino. And I'm like, wow. And also handmade pasta. I'm like, wow. I think it only lasted a few years. And after that, essentially, it didn't work out because, again, the products that were bought in the European products, they didn't satisfy the taste palette of the locals. And what my dad did is he did what we call today engineering. Even in tech, we do this. So his second chance, he was able to actually build something for the UAE people with what they wanted. So chai, karak, 3-color, croissant their way, which is fluffy and bready. Even in France, if you go to France, they'll be okay. It's not our croissant, but that's the thing. My dad has done I would say a composition in his way. He's done like an artist. He's done interpretation of French and Italian products for the UAE customers. And I think at the end of the day, the reason why my dad continued is because he had strong bonds and he touched many hearts.
After this first short-lived occupation as a French café, the Flying Saucer underwent a series of programmatic changes and ensuing interior space and facade transformation. Al Maya Lal supermarket added a pharmacy as an independent annex. Sharjah Cooperative Society transformed its original interior, and during this occupation by Al Taza restaurant, the annex used as a kitchen became connected to the restaurant interior.
My first memory of the Flying Saucer goes back when I was around 5 years old. It's on our way to school, so it was between our school and my house. I was in the car, I remember looking at it, and then we passed by to get some like breakfast or snacks.
I was searching for the building. I was like, which one could it be? Later, when I Googled it, it turned out that same building, which was the restaurant, was actually named the Flying Saucer. And it turned out that it was built in 1978. So I was like, how is it possible that in 1978, they came up with this sort of building design, the architect? It's so neo-futuristic for that era. Like right now, you tell me, oh, there's a building called the Flying Saucer in Sharjah. And I'm like, oh, okay, maybe it's built recently. But if you tell me it is so old, like 1978, then I'm like, the vision that the architect had for the future, it clearly shows through the building itself.
Sharjah government had acquired the Flying Saucer as a venue for the Sharjah Art Foundation for the Sharjah Biennial 12 in 2015. Egyptian artist Hassan Khan created a site-specific installation, UFO. And on the interior, the artist introduced colored light filters on the triangular glazing of the circular facade. to mediate between the building internal and external experience. In the present intervention, the flying saucer is conceived as a nodal urban space, attracting not only art lovers, but people from around Sharjah and outside. This preservation and renovation cycle brings back to the flying saucer its unique original silhouette of the 70s and supplements it with both a new platform, acting as an open public place, and a new underground launch pad with a sunken circular courtyard.
The flying saucer roundabout is exactly, my villa overlooks it. I have known it for all my life. I think it represents my entire youth. I was unmarried when I first saw it, and now I'm a grandmother to a 6-month-old baby. I remember my father brought us with my siblings, my father. We used to live in Dubai, and he would say that there is one very special place I'll show you, and that's where it was like the flying saucer. We were amazed by it when we came in our small car. I love that place. I've seen it change from different owners taking over it. It is a very special place.
The process began at the beginning of 2018, starting with the excavation works around the footprint of the flying saucer itself to make way for the newly inserted basement level called the launch pad.
The flying saucer building itself is known for its star-shaped form, and it has this central dome which sort of gives a very heightened feeling to the space, which can be used very well for exhibitions. And it's a concrete dome, and it's preserved as is, so you can see the concrete structure and the material as is. The geometry in the basement, which we created, sort of reflects the faceted walls and shape of the flying saucer. It's been extruded down to the basement and creates this dynamic space for people to wander around in. We've also tried to get a lot of this rawness and materiality of the flying saucer also down in the basement, where we've used fair-faced concrete walls, concrete flooring, a lot of natural materials for the furniture, and all the finishes are sort of also then uplifted with some color and to bring more brightness into the space, to make it a more welcoming space.
To which we bring in light via a large circular sunken courtyard along with 3 peripheral lights. It is a convivial space that includes a café that overlooks a library space, a workshop space, and it has several multi-purpose rooms. It also has several faceted walls that develop as screening walls for the film program.
The history of the flying saucer from 1978 to the present speak of this adaptability and resilience of an iconic building that has undergone layers of changes and transformation. This resilience has enriched its sociocultural history, in turn inscribing it in the collective cultural memory and place identity of Sharjah.